Good afternoon to all. My name is Anjali Vishwakarma. I'm professor of SIRT. So in my today's YouTube lecture, I am going to discuss about the computer basis. So if I'm talking about the computer, then computer word come from the word compute, which the meaning of this compute word is to calculate something. So whenever we want to calculate something in very high speed, then we can use the computer. So the computer word come from the word compute, which means to calculate. Now if I'm discuss the next definition of computer, then we can say that it is an electronic device which can't work without electricity. Or we can also say that it is used to convert data into information. It means if we have some data and we want to make it useful, then we arrange the data in some form, so it will become the information. So if I'm again discuss about the computer, then it contains lots of parts like input devices, output devices, softwares, hardwares. These are the things. So if I'm talking about the hardwares, what types of things are called hardwares in computer? So the things that we can touch is called hardware devices, and the things that we cannot touch, then it is softwares. So softwares are used to simplify our work. So if I'm give the examples of the hardware devices, then system unit, mouse, keyboard, monitor, these are the physical components or hardware that we can touch. Now the softwares, so those programs that is used to simplify our work is called softwares. We can install softwares in our system to make it useful. Now we can again categorize the computers according to our applications or according to our need. We use some computers, like we can categorize the computer based on some parts, like we can classify computer based on memory, based on size and capability. We can categorize the computer based on purpose, and then we can categorize the computer based on applications. So if I'm talking about how we can classify the computer based on purpose, so we can classify the computer in two purpose. First one is general purpose and second one is special purpose. For the general purpose means we can use computer in our home, offices and schools. Or if I'm talking about the special purpose, then we are using computers in scientific purpose, research purpose. Now based on application, we can categorize the computer in three parts, that is analog computer, digital computer and hybrid computer. Whenever we have to show our data in discontinuous form, then we can use the analog computer, and whenever we want the efficient data, we can use the digital computer, and whenever we need both the application, then we can use the hybrid computer. Now again we can classify, or we can define the types of computer based on size and capability. According to based on size and capability, we can categorize the computer like mini frame computer, mainframe computer, microcomputer and supercomputer. So every computer have their own applications, like the mini computer and mainframe computer both are powerful computer, and they are expensive and they are mainly used for the business purpose and big organizations. And for if I'm talking about the personal computer, then these are the cheap computers which is used in any general purpose, like we can use these computers in our schools, in hospitals, in offices, in school, in colleges, where we have to do the simple work over there. So if I again describe about the hardware components, so those parts that we can touch in the computer are called the hardware components, and these are input devices and output devices are the hardwares. So those things by which we can give the input to show our output. So we can get the output after giving the input. So through the input devices we can give the input. There are different types of input devices like keyboard, mouse, a light pen, a joystick. These are some examples by which we can give the input. So after giving this input, we want to calculate something, and after calculation we will get our result, and these results are shown by output devices. So some of the output devices are speaker, monitor, a printer, plotter, by which we can get our result or our output. Now some of the input devices I earlier told you: the mouse, keyboard, trackballs, joystick, scanner, touchpad, slide panes, joystick. These are the input devices. According to our need, we can use this input devices. Now the output devices are printer, plotter, VDU, speakers, speech synthesizer. These are some of the examples of output devices. Now there are some of other devices are called hard disks, in which we store the information. So if I'm talking about some features of hard disk, then speed is a feature. It will process the data in very fast speed. The capacity of hard disk will be 1024 megabytes, and cost of this are rapidly falling down before some years. Now some of other hardware components are floppy disk. This is one of the earlier floppy disk, which is used to store the data, but it is stored the data in very less amount. It can only store the information, or it will give only memory 1.44 megabyte. Now the CD-ROMs, these are compact disk read-only memory, where we can store the data, which is in the form of megabyte. In this, it provide only read-only memory, which is only we can only write the data at once, and we cannot remove the data. So it provide the read many times and write once. Now the random access memory, which is part of primary memory or main memory. So RAM is random access memory, in which it use capacitor, in which it use transistor to store the random access memory. It is a main memory, in which it randomly access the memory. Data and program are stored in a RAM memory. It also called volatile memory, which means we can only if we are working on a system and system is on, then the data will be there. If the system is off, all the data are erased. It is what the RAM, which is called volatile memory. And ROM is read only memory, where which you can only read the data, and whenever we want to erase the data, then we have to use some ultraviolet rays or electronic signal by which we can erase the data. So the read only memory is a part of primary memory or main memory, is also called non-volatile memory. It means when the power is on, when the power is off, all the data are same. Again I will discuss about some of the memory concept here. If we want to measure the memory, then we can measure the memory in some types, like we can measure the memory in terms of kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, petabyte, petabyte. They are some of the things where which we can measure the data. Data can be in megabyte, we can store the data in megabyte, we can store the data in gigabyte, and 0, 1 are called the bit, and collection of 1 and 0 are called bytes. Now if I'm talking about the microprocessor, then this is the brain of computer. The PC's primary use microprocessor, sometimes called chip. The older Intel version include the 386, 486, and now the Pentium line. The CPU is a central processing unit. All the processing done by the CPU. It is a brain of computer. Input devices give the input, and output devices show the output, and in between CPU is the one who calculate or who perform all the calculation or who all the perform. Now there are some of the features that impact the computer performance, and these are CPU speed, RAM size, and hard disk speed and capacity. Now the operating system, one of the most important part of the computer system. So operating system gives some of the functionalities, like we can manage file. It provides file management, device management, memory management, process management, security, and error warning message. So these are some of the functionality that is provided by operating system, and operating system is mainly used to provide the interaction between user and hardware. It provides work in a simplified way, and it manages lots of things. They are some of the examples of operating system are Windows, Linux, Unix are some of the examples of operating system. According to our use, we can use the operating systems. Now If I am talking about the software, then we can classify the software in two types, that is application software and system software. Those software that are inbuilt, they are called system software, and those software that we install to simplify our work, we use here application software. So some of the examples of application software are MS Office, word processing programs, spreadsheet, database are some of the example of application software. Now the application software examples are word processing application, Microsoft Word, Lotus Word Pro and WordPerfect. For the spreadsheet, Microsoft Excel and Lotus 123. For the database, we can use Microsoft Access and Lotus Approach. Now the payrolls, for usage software, presentation tool, Microsoft PowerPoint, Lotus Freelance, desktop publishing, Adobe Awards, Photoshop. For multimedia application, we use Microsoft Encarta CD-ROM base. Now some of the connections that we use whenever we connect, there are different types of computer that we connect. We can connect the computer in one floor, we can connect the computer with one building, or we can connect the computer with one city to another city, or again we can connect the computer with one country to another country. So we can categorize these networks in three types, like that is LAN, WAN, MAN. So LAN is a local area network. Whenever we have to provide a connection between the building to building, here we can use the LAN connection. It is a local area network. Is a system where individual PCs are connected together within a company or organization. For the WAN, wide area network, it is a connection that provide connectivity between all over the world. We can connect the network, or we can connect with the person all over the world. Now the MAN is metropolitan area network, where one city is connected to the another city. Some of the uses of networks are, we can use in the office, where we can access the net, or we can utilize that network, or we can get lots of information, data and other types of things. In this way, the office can have single printer and all 10 people can print to it. It is in a similar way. Other devices such as modem and scanner are we share. Even more useful is the ability to share information when connected to network. Some of the modems are, the full form of modem is modulator and demodulator. Modem send information from the computer across the telephone system. The modem at the other end of the phone line convert the signal into a format that can be used by receiving computer. Computer in daily life, like how we can use the computer in daily life. So for the accounting purpose, for the gaming purpose, for the educational purpose, for online banking, for the smart ID cards, supermarkets, working from the home, internet. These are the examples where which we can use the computer. Now there is another thing in the computer, that is viruses. These are the viruses that is come in our system. Whenever we put something which is not legal to the system, then it will harm our system. So the viruses are generated. Viruses are the small program that hides themselves on your disk. Unless you use virus detection software, the first time that you know that have a virus, it when activated. Different virus activated in different times. Like there are different types of examples of the viruses. It is same as coronavirus. Whenever it touch to the another system, then it will generate the viruses. Now how we can say that viruses infect the PCs, whenever we put a pen drive of another system or another person, then maybe there can be some viruses. So whenever we again externally put on the system, in our system, so that viruses spread from one computer to the another computer. So the worst thing about a computer virus is that they can spread from one computer to another, either by use of infected body disk over computer network, including the internet. So thank you so much. These are my lecture related with the computer. They are some of